It's quite a minefield actually for landlords right now when it comes to new legislation, knowing what's reasonable, knowing your time frames, knowing all your responsibilities part of the Housing Act. There's lots to know. And if you're doing it on your own, this is where it can get quite tricky, because especially the last 5 years, there's been so many new bits of legislation that are particular to a landlord and ensuring that they are abiding by the law. And if they aren't, even for the smallest things, they don't accept ignorance, or I didn't read it, or I didn't know. It's quite hefty, the fines, and some of it is prison term. So obviously we want to avoid that, but having an agent is where you could be helped quite a bit in that front, with us having to know all the legislation, what's relevant to your property, what's not, and obviously guiding you along the way, taking care of all of it for you, including right to rent checks with passports, having to be in person, having to stamp it, and of course anything particular to deposits. They're very, very particular with making sure that the right things are served at the right times within the allotted amounts. Otherwise there's severe penalties for it. So having all these things in place, it's quite difficult for landlords to know all this on their own or do their homework. Some of them do, but part of why landlords own properties and rent them out is for investment purposes and financial gain, but also, you know, they get agencies to manage them so they can take that time away and the liability essentially, which again is why we're here to help with management and ensure that every aspect is legal and that there's no fuss to a landlord for this purpose.